During our flight training, we learn about cross-country flight planning, how to get our winds aloft, to figure out our ground speed on a trip there and back, how that's going to affect our fuel planning, etc. And early on, you might think, oh, I got a headwind and a tailwind on each leg. Those winds might balance themselves out. Spoiler alert, they don't. So in this video, I want to show you a presentation I saw a long time ago at a wings seminar, back when they actually had wings seminars. And I was a student pilot or a newly minted private pilot at the time. Looking back at it now, I mean, it makes perfect sense. But back then, it was kind of a bit of a, aha moment about how headwinds and tailwinds work for you whenever you're doing these little round robin type trips. So for our example, we've got 150 miles between our two airports. So we're going to fly from point A to point B and then come right back again. You do that a lot on your cross-country training. You're just going somewhere and coming back. Maybe out in the real world, you're going to visit family and coming back home within the same day. So for our scenario, our mighty Cherokee or whatever it is we're flying can do 100 miles an hour. If we have no wind at all, how long is it going to take from point A to point B? Doing 100 miles an hour to go 150 miles? It's going to take an hour and a half, right? Repeat that coming back home, 3 hours. 3 hours round trip. The FAA requires that for our fuel planning, we have enough fuel to get to our destination and have a half hour of normal cruise power fuel available. So for our scenario, let's say that we can't get fuel at our point B. So essentially our destination is back home again. So we need enough fuel to be able to fly for 3 hours round trip and have a half hour reserve. Luckily for our scenario, that's exactly what our airplane can carry. We've got 3.5 hours worth of fuel. So we're good to plan to take off, fly it, come back. If we didn't have any issues, we'd have a half hour when we land. And keep in mind that half hour reserve, that's just for when you take off. They want you to have that half hour reserve, which admittedly isn't much, to plan for or allow for unforeseen circumstances, headwinds, diversions, and whatnot. So let's say we get up one morning and we're going to make this trip, and it turns out we check our winds aloft, and we've got a monstrous tailwind. We've got a 50-knot tailwind getting us this direction. So we think, wow, okay, it's going to take me a lot less time to get there. It's going to take me longer to get home, but that should all balance out, right? How long is it now going to take to go from our initial departure point to our intermediate stop? Well, the airplane can do 100 knots. We've got the wind pushing us along an extra 50 knots. So it's going to take 1 hour to get to our point B destination. That still leaves me 2.5 hours of gas, right? How long is it going to take to get back home? Well, now I'm flying into that headwind. If I do 100 knots, I've got 50 knots on the nose. What's my ground speed? It's 50 knots. How long is it going to take to travel 150 miles if I'm only doing 50 knots? It's going to take me 3 hours. Well, after I made my first leg, I only had 2.5 hours of gas left. So I fly, I burn an hour, I fly, I get 50 miles, there's an hour, another 50 miles, there's 2, the remaining half hour, and splat, we end up into a field because I didn't plan for my fuel appropriately. That's really it. It's that simple. Most people think it's all going to balance itself out with my headwind and tailwind. And the unfortunate part is we don't get to enjoy the tailwinds as long because we're getting pushed along. So it only took an hour to enjoy that tailwind. Going into that headwind, though, I'm spending more clock time into that headwind. As far as your fuel consumption, remember, we're not talking about miles per gallon. We're talking about gallons per hour. I could take off here, fly into a 100-knot headwind, fly, 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 not go anywhere, run out of fuel, and I'm going to come right back where I'm at. All right, that's all I got. If you have any questions, comments, or smart remarks, please leave them in the comments. Thanks.